Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 121st episode, I think it is, of the Poorly Planned Podcast.
121.
121, a magical number. 12 is actually my magic number, so it's pretty close. Anyway, my name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Just random shower thoughts. This is what we do on this podcast. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. With me, as always, is my friend, co-host, and recovered from death's door, buddy, Frederick.
That is, 'tis I.
Yeah.
I wore the blanket of invisibility from Harry Potter and evaded death's grasp, and I'm now back.
What a terrifically specific reference, which leads me to think that we will be talking about Harry Potter in the mini reviews, perhaps.
No.
Oh no, I thought you hadn't seen Harry Potter. You just know that reference.
I just know it.
Damn. This is a good episode, you know.
I've been on a spiritual journey these last few days.
Well, I think the magic of podcasting has connected us because now I am sick. I woke up this morning.
Ends recording.
So we can't be talking right now. Yeah, it feels like a bunch of tiny little men are stabbing my throat from the inside.
And anus?
No, I wouldn't say that.
No? Okay. Well, then we have not experienced the same thing.
What a horribly vivid description. Also, I like to imagine that's just like what your doctor says. It's like, yeah, it feels like someone stabbed my throat. And? Anus? What?
Oh, I thought you were talking about, I hope it's 100 tiny men stabbing that anus, right?
Anyway, yeah, we're back. And so we're going to be doing, I don't want to make any false promises to, ones that we won't keep. But for this episode, we are doing mini reviews, news, a topic, and announcements and such all at one time. We're recording on Monday. It'll go up on Friday. And I'm not saying we're going to try to do this consistently now. Bring back the old style where we have all segments in each episode and it goes up about a week later. So, the news will be a week late, but it's fine. It's better than what we usually do, which is like a month late. But we're gonna give it a bit of a try, Also, by the way, I don't have COVID. Just want to specify. To get tested.
I don't either.
Also, before we jump into it,
the only thing I have is 100 tiny men stabbing my anus. I want to reiterate.
I have a quick little story to tell at the front here that I thought you would enjoy because it involves me humiliating myself in a public setting.
Oh, okay, brilliant.
But basically,
my favorite type of story.
I have I do, as we've mentioned, an hour on my radio, my university's radio show. I have a little hour where I play some music, talk about some movies, talk about some UFC. It's a good time. However, I made the mistake of playing a song that I hadn't listened to in a long time on my university's university-wide and city-wide radio station. And so I did. I saw Stormzy Vossi Bop, and I was like, oh, you know what? I remember that's it's kind of a bit of a tune, as they say. I'll put that on.
I love the Vossi Bop.
And keep in mind, the manager of the radio station, who I see every single time I go in there, he's sitting in the next room listening to my broadcast. And then I play the song. And are you familiar with Vossi Bop?
I know of it, but I don't know the specific lyrics you're talking about.
Well, it's a lot more explicit than I remember, and part of the chorus involves him talking about body shots and facials. And he says it dozens of times, and it felt like hundreds as I was sitting there in the radio booth. And it also plays out to the street outside the radio booth, so people are just walking by looking in, kind of
body shots and facials.
They're kind of vibing, but they're also confused. And I couldn't stop it. I'm not going to be a bitch about it. I couldn't stop it halfway through, so I went through with it.
It'd be so funny if you're sitting there, the entire city's watching. Midway through the second chorus of Vossi Bop, just screeching whole sorry guys, that was way more explicit than I thought. I apologize.
When it was done, I did give a notice. I was like, oh, also great thing that my mom also listens to my radio hour. She tunes in on the internet, and yeah, it was just it was a violently embarrassing experience that I just kind of put my head down and sort of laughed, and I was like, God damn it, this was a big mistake.
God damn it.
Who knows if I'll be allowed back. But
imagine getting banned from your own radio show because you played Vossi Bop.
Well, because also halfway through I looked up and there's a sign that says this radio station is playing all across the campus or whatever the and I was like, Great.
I thought you looked to your left and your like manager was holding up a sign that said, "Please stop."
He's just standing outside the window, just cut. I've barred the door.
You look to the left. He's just absolutely vibing to the Vossi Bop.
Anyway, sorry, bit of a tangent. Today, let's start off with some mini reviews of the stuff we watched in the past week. I only have 3.
I don't have many. I don't think. I will think.
Well, it's fine because we're going through mini reviews, news, and topic. So we're gonna keep them sharp.
They do be sharp.
So first of all, I did watch the pilot episode of Peacemaker. What a joke.
What a joke.
I did watch the first episode. God, that made the hair on the back of my neck stick up, I'm not gonna lie.
I will lie. I got goosebumps. I made myself get chills. And what do we think?
Very enjoyable, It does feature the first episode does feature the Cena tidy whities and butt actually, as well.
Naked butt?
Mm-hmm. Why is that the first thing? Go into a 5-minute discussion specifically on this. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyable. And Cena, I was a little, as you once said about Anthony Mackie's Falcon carrying his own film, I was a little wondering if Cena, especially the character of Peacemaker, could kind of carry his own show. Especially because having just rewatched the Suicide Squad, he is pretty objectively terrible person. And they kind of lean into that. Like they do sort of very much acknowledge that. But it was very fun. It was super violent. It has, have you seen the opening credits? It has an incredible dance number as the opening credits.
I haven't seen any of it, no.
It's, it's very good. I look forward to watching the rest of it, which most of it is out, and I just have to find time to watch it. But, Peacemaker, so far.
One joke.
A big thumbs up. What's not a joke is the show. Sorry.
The show. Question: do you watch it is that on Prime or?
It's on HBO.
HBO. Okay. I have been watching each week, and I'm actually after we stop recording, I will be watching the newest episode of this. Attack on Titan. The new Attack on Titan and final Attack on Titan season. My God, is it good?
Sorry, before you continue, can we just? Is it time for a certain segment?
I believe it. How foolish of me! It warms my heart that you remind, because usually you just let it slip.
Well, I'm gonna remind, but I'm still not gonna put in the intro.
Please put
it's an ultimate step in the back.
Oh my God, this is like reviving me just to kill me. Anyways,
sorry. Go ahead.
Freddy's Anime Hour. Cue the intro.
Right. Yeah.
You better f***ing do it. I'm listening, and if it's not happening,
I believe last time I played 0.5 seconds of it, and then I cut it off.
Well, so yeah, Attack on Titan, final season is coming out. There's been so much like build up and hype around it. Oh my God, it's genuinely, it's so good. It's so good. I'm so hyped. Like the show is taking such a different and much more like complex direction than when you first started watching it. Like it's evolved into something that you would not have at all expected it to become once you first started watching. So it's just it's so good. And it's the kind of thing where I'm sitting there drooling for the next episode.
God.
Not a joke. God. That's visceral.
That made the hair on the back of my neck stand up,
But yeah, it's just like the first 3 episodes I've seen, and then the 4th one's going to watch today. It comes out every Monday, and God damn, it's so good.
And as a final season, would you say so far it's a satisfying conclusion to this story that you followed?
I wouldn't actually call it
it's actually trash, now that you mention
it. I take everything back. I hate this show.
This show's for nerds. I just realized.
So far, a twist is basically there was something happening that wasn't quite right with the main character, and now it's been resolved or been revealed that it was all a ruse by him. So it's good, good reveal, but still, things are still in motion.
Okay, but your thumbs up for the Freddy's Anime Hour rating?
Big thumbs up.
Let's go. Well, I guess
I give it 3 Peacemakers out of 2 thumbs.
And I assume, week to week, if we keep doing these mini reviews, who knows, week to week, we will get a week to week Freddy's Anime Hour Attack on Titan segment. Let's go.
You don't sound excited.
Let's go, question mark? Let's fucking get it! Exclamation point, question mark. Then I, just a classic, I did rewatch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
A classic.
One of my favorite movies. Just, iconic
Not
film.
just a favorite movie, a favorite movie.
It's a tier above. So funny and just such a great performance from the Downey Jr., from the Kilmer. So many quotable moments. I just love it. And then I guess I can quickly do my last one. I watched this movie called Zola yesterday.
Zola?
Which was it was about it was like a really strange premise for a movie, but it was an A24 movie where they took this like Twitter thread that someone put on Twitter where they told a story, and then they made it into a movie. So it was the story about these 2 strippers who go to Florida, and then, all kinds of craziness ensues. And very interesting concept for a movie. And the movie itself was pretty unique.
Pretty terrible.
Just a dumb film. No, it was kind of garbage, actually. They should be ashamed for making this.
The movie itself was god awful, I'll be honest with you.
So mean. No, it was interesting and unique. It had a lot of good performances. It was stylistically interesting and a very unique film. It wasn't like anything I'd ever really seen before. So, if you're interested in that kind of, artistic things as a film student, I appreciate this kind of art. But
Of course.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Anyway, go ahead.
I watched a movie called Lucy. Are you familiar?
A little bit of... If we humans use 100% of our... That's the terrible Morgan Freeman. That was
it's very good.
If humans used 100% of our brain's capacity, who knows what might happen?
That's my Morgan.
Oh, the Tumblr? Oh, you wouldn't be interested in that. That was more of a... I don't know. It's more of my...
What a joke!
It's more of a Tom Hanks, actually. Anyway, a little bit of Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, have you seen it?
I think I watched it a while ago.
Well, so I think the best way I can describe it is a more fantastical, less good version of Limitless.
Mm.
Have you seen Limitless with Bradley and Cooperton?
Yeah, he takes like a pill or something.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite movies, by the way. Such a good movie. But I also watched that actually. Oh yeah, well, right. I've talked about that before.
Yeah.
So very good movie. Anyways, this one quite good. A little bit over the top for me in some points, where she like suddenly like dissolves into ash and stuff like that, and like becomes everything. It's good, but it's not as good as Limitless, which it reminded me of with a like kind of or Upgrade,
Oh yeah, I forgot about Upgrade. That was a good ass movie.
That was a very good movie.
But yeah, it looked.
Damn, I need to rewatch Upgrade.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's one of the perfect like pitch concepts for a movie. Like you can say the concept in like 5 seconds, and you're kind of sold on it.
But in practical the actual movie, pretty good. Not the best. Like I enjoyed, but not something I'd watch again in a little while, I don't think.
Yeah, and maybe you could do more with that premise.
Yeah,
like, maybe there's more potential there. But yeah,
because they go very just straight in a line where it's like, oh yeah, she ups her percentage and then it gets weirder and then suddenly she's everywhere.
And then Morgan Freeman's like, oh, the Tumblr, you wouldn't be interested in that. His most famous line from The Dark Knight.
Oh, the Tumblr? You wouldn't be interested in that.
It's two really awful Morgan Freeman impressions. That just doesn't sound anything like him.
I didn't even try.
The Tumblr! You would not want that one.
Cuttlefish. Sorry. Was that your last?
Cuttlefish. Fucking terrified of him.
Why do you sound like the coachman? I hate him. Also, I have a boxing coach who's exactly like the coachman. He's an Irish boxing coach, and he's precisely like the same.
And he's literally named the coachman.
He's actually Colin Farrell, who just comes and pretends to be a coach. He's always like, "Oh, you gotta fucking hit him, lad. You're gonna beat the shit out of him, you know." And I'm like, I'm sorry if that accent's offensive. I live here, so I probably shouldn't be doing that. But.
And then I dropped to my knees and started crying.
Because
I'm scared. Oh, you dirty boy.
I'm sorry.
Come on, fucking hit him. And I dropped to my knees and...
Anyway, was that your last mini review? Because then we can get to the news and such. That was also my Morgan Freeman impression.
I mean, I watched 20 minutes of the first episode of Ozark, the new season of Ozark. Very good, but haven't seen much yet, so we'll see.
So you can't give the Bateman a rating.
I'll give the Bateman a tease.
Such a strange episode so far. I feel like we need to...
Quite good so far, but still kind of just building up the season. So no rating yet, but a nice tease so far.
Well, on to the news and such. God, we're just blasting through this.
God damn.
So, did you hear who they are potentially courting to be the villain for Fast and Furious 10?
Peacemaker?
No, he was already the villain in the last one, so that was not a good
What
guess.
a joke.
So that was actually a very unintelligent thing to say.
It's so funny. If Vin Diesel's walking around and suddenly Peacemaker, the character, enters. Does John Cena die in the latest one?
No. Oh, you haven't seen it? No, at the end, he's like, you know what? I know you tried to literally, like, nuke half the planet, but we're brothers, so, like, get out of here, my man. Oh, the Tumblr? You wouldn't be interested.
Or you would be.
I didn't even know. Such an obscure quote from Batman Begins that was the only thing I could think of that Morgan Freeman says.
I cannot even... I don't know what it is you're saying or where, like, when he says it.
It's because they're in the Batcave, and then he's, like, pointing out his, like, gear and stuff. He's like, here's the grappling hook, and here's this. And then Christian Bale's like, what's that over there? And it's the tumbler. And then Morgan Freeman goes, oh, the tumbler? Or you wouldn't be interested in that. But then he is interested in it, so it's a great line.
But then he does want it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then it's the tumbler. Anyway.
My favorite Morgan Freeman quote is...
Dolphins.
Right. That's a great moment in The Dark Knight. I love that one. That's actually my favorite moment in Shawshank Redemption. Well, okay, think of who you would imagine would be in a Fast and Furious film who hasn't been yet. Think a buff man, a kind of cartoonish man, a charismatic man, very The Rock-esque, Cena-esque.
Okay. Who's Jason Momoa?
You absolute genius.
Is it? Is it?
It is, yes.
Oh!
It is the perfect fit for the Fast franchise. I think that's a great idea. In a villainous role, I'm not sure, because I kind of love the Momoa.
I might just turn on Diesel.
I already have, honestly. I will definitely be rooting for Momoa.
It's been coming for a while.
But yeah.
Damn, okay. I like that. I can see him in that franchise. Again, I don't want him to stay in the franchise, because he's way better than it. So he pops in. Well, I think does a little dancey dance and then leaves.
I think these next two are going to be the last ones. I think they're doing like a part 1, part 2 situation where it's the big finale, and so I think.
What if Jason Momoa just straight up kills Diesel and it just ends with that? And then he gets in Diesel's car and drives over Tyrese and into the sunset.
I thought you were saying, and then he gets in Diesel's car and just like peels out on Diesel's face. Like, he just put the back tire on Diesel and just fucking revs it up. That'd be a great conclusion to this series, honestly. And then, like, the song from the end of Fast and Furious 7 plays. The Charlie
It's been a long time.
This Diesel's face is getting mangled. He's getting throttled by the back wheel.
He's not getting injured at all. His lips are just going...
But so, yeah, they're probably going to bring back, like, all the characters. You know, they're going to have... I mean, they already brought Han back, but probably, like, Gal Gadot. Hopefully Dwayne...
I still don't know how Han is alive.
Yeah, I can't even remember how that happened, honestly. He was like, it was all a dream. He didn't say that.
Mandarin? Is that real?
But Dwayne's probably not coming back. But also, there's like, do you think they'll do like CGI Paul Walker for this last one? Like even just for, like a little cameo? Because I think his brother said like he's cool with it, but also I don't know. I feel like maybe it would feel kind of weird. Because they did that with the last Ghostbusters, and I felt like it felt a little weird. They brought back Harold Ramis. Anyway. Good for Momoa. I'm excited for that. Did you see the Spider-Man interview with Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, and Andrew Garfield? They did like a joint Zoom interview.
I won't lie. I always kind of Oh no, never mind. Forget I said
Yeah, that was such. You looked so excited because you thought of a great pun, and then you realized, wait a minute, those are two different words. My bad. What a sad moment. Forget I said ha.
Get that on a t-shirt.
That sums up this podcast really well. Thinking you'd thought of a clever thing, then realizing you hadn't and shamefully trying to retract it.
Anyways, I usually zone out whenever I see these.
Don't you mean zoom out?
I hate that you knew exactly what I was going for as well.
I've done too many episodes of this to not know what that was going to be.
Well, I'm just going to own it. I always zoom out whenever I see Zoom interviews or Skype or something. Like, I don't know, it just ain't the real thing.
Yeah, like they did a lot of reunions of various like sitcoms and casts and stuff in like the pandemic, and it really, yeah, it's not the vibe, but it was still fun to see, them three together.
They're really trying hard to organize it so people still have some entertainment. Yeah, this really ain't the vibe. This right here, Chief, ain't working.
That's so mean. Like they put just like, okay, through the pandemic, it's a tough time for people. We want to put something together for people to enjoy.
They probably want to see their favorite celebrity BHL sitting at home with his KFC in his underwear. This ain't the vibe.
The worst part is I've done that this week, just eating KFC. I'm not in my underwear, but I have been eating KFC.
I was butt naked.
Oh god! The worst part about KFC is it doesn't even taste good. I don't know why I get it sometimes, and then I hate myself. Anyway,
then I realized I'm a serious masochist.
I realized I got issues. Anyway, it was fun to see.
I need help.
Imagine just sitting there watching like the community Zoom reunion, eating my KFC, and I'm like, shit, I gotta talk to someone.
Oh Jesus!
Anyway,
goddamn.
The Spider-Man interview was quite enjoyable. That's all I'll say. Okay. Moving swiftly on. Did you see? We have some. As it was suggested a while ago, that we start a segment called the Dwoos. We do have a bit of Dwoos. I don't know if we'll do a segment for it, but
we've got a smidge of Dwoos.
We got a little droplet of Dwoos. Just sticking our tongue out, waiting for it.
That sounds horrifically gross. I got a droplet of Dwoos.
Doesn't help that I then said, and we're sticking our tongues out waiting for it. Anyway, Dwoos. Dwayne Johnson and Chris Evans are teaming up for a Christmas-themed action comedy, I think, called Red One. And in the Empire article that I read about this, they speculate that Dwayne Johnson, I don't know why, if they have any reason to think this, Dwayne Johnson could be playing Santa Claus, potentially. And they did write the sentence, does this mean Dwanta Claus is going from rock promo charity cause to the big screen? So, anyway, I just thought that was of note.
So Dwanta, I see.
So maybe a potential Evans-Dwanta team up? I mean, that sounds pretty delightful.
Potential Dwanta alert incoming this Christmas?
New segment, Dwanta News?
I won't lie. Whenever people start marketing Christmas after Christmas has passed really early on, like
it upsets
January,
you.
February, I'm like,
it offends you to your core.
I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Mm.
It's just passed. Wait a little bit. Get me hyped for it. But it's because right now I'm like, a Christmas movie, I don't want to see it, even if it's got Dwanta.
I mean, Dwanta would be pretty f***ing epic. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah,
fine. I'd watch that in the peak of summer. But just comment with the marketing a little bit.
But a Dwayne Evans team up that doesn't get you excited a little bit.
It does get me excited. I'm just being a little piss boy. I love it.
In fairness, the Dwayne Reynolds team up, which is like a dream team up, wasn't that great. So
it was not great. So
we'll see. John Krasinski's next movie is going to be called If. It's about like the recapturing your childhood imagination or something, and it will be starring Steve Carell. So a team up of James Halpert and Michael Scott.
Michael Scottathan?
So let's go.
So Pog?
We have more Cena news. Sorry, go. Sorry.
Well, that sounds quite good. I'm here for it.
Yeah, another Krasinski directed film after he's done with his Quiet Places.
Is there another Quiet Place coming?
They're making, I think so, and they're also making a spin-off. But it's not Krasinski doing that one. So,
Okay.
Ew. John Cena and Brie Larson. Nope. John Cena and Alison Brie are teaming up for an action comedy from the director of Taken. I was more just excited for this because I saw Cena and also Alison Brie star of Community, and as a big Community fan now, I was like, well, we have to.
Alison Brie. Who is it?
Alison Brie.
Alison Cheddar.
There we go. Classic.
Wait, let me.
She's Annie Edison. Delightful character.
Right. I see.
Also in other things, lots of other things as well, but as a diehard Ovid
mainly
fan, I know her as Annie.
It's not good that you've gotten so into Community. It's not that good.
I still haven't finished it, so I'm not really that into it. I still have a whole season that I just have not. I've rewatched New Girl instead of watching, but I'll get to it.
Okay, that I can accept.
Let's see. Not a ton of other crazy news here. Mortal Kombat 2 is in the works. Denzel is coming back for the Equalizer 3.
Have you seen the first two Equalizers?
I have not. Are they good?
I think the first one is quite good. Second one is also pretty good. Not as good as the first one, I don't think, but
Okay, so you're here for a Denzel movie?
I'm here for a little Denzel action.
And final piece of news, there was the first look at Leslie Grace as Batgirl, who will be Batgirl in the new Batgirl movie, which will also have Michael Keaton's Batman and J.K. Simmons' J.K. George.
Simmons?
What is he?
J.K. Simmons is J.K.
Most famous role?
Simmons J.K. George.
What's
his?
his?
You said?
What's his name? J. Jonah. No,
the Jonas Brothers.
Coach. No, Commissioner
Coach
Gordon. Coach Carter. Yeah, it's gonna have J.K. Simmons as Samuel L. Jackson's iconic role as Coach Carter. I did see that it's directed by the directors of Bad Boys for Life. So
Okay.
bit of an L. Moving on.
So fat not W on this one.
But the costume looks pretty good, I suppose. Now, what a bunch of news and mini reviews. Time for the topic.
Wait, what about the? Oh no, Tom Cnews is at the end.
It is.
My mistake.
You're so out of sync. You're so out of practice.
God.
That sickness
God,
really got
Jesus.
to you. Really
It
ate
really
away your
hit
brain.
me. It hit me at the core.
It made you think the words zoom and zone were the same. Now, for the topic here, I don't know if we should reveal this to the fans, but you did give me, as a birthday present, a certain voucher.
Yes.
And I basically, I mean, you can explain it, but before you do, I will just say, I do have a topic here if you don't have one, but if you do have one, then we can also roll with that. So,
Well, I've got one, but I think it's more of a longer one that's a full pod.
okay. Fair enough.
That I think you would quite enjoy. So I reckon maybe next pod we just maybe hit that one. And it'll be a little surprise.
Okay. Basically, for those who don't know, do you want to explain your little voucher, or is that an off-pod thing? Actually, am I not supposed to?
No,
reveal this to?
you can reveal, but I reckon you should reveal because it's your present.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can remember what this was. No, I'm kidding. Let me see if this dumb shit you gave me actually. Well, basically, okay. Freddy has given me, because since I do a bit of behind-the-scenes work on the podcast.
You do. And I do not.
Freddy, as a birthday present this year, he gave me a voucher for podcast episode ideas that he will provide. And if he does not do so, then he has to do a forfeit on the pod of my choosing.
Exactly.
Which is
Yes.
my cruel imagination has gone wild with that. So in the future, if we reference this is like a Freddy pod idea, then that's what that is. Anyway, not really.
Okay.
Doesn't require too much explanation. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Nah, yeah.
But anyway, this week, bit of a stinky topic. I'm not gonna lie, but I thought we could kind of we could.
Is this one of the ones I've suggested?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say what a lead up.
That would be a mean lead up. This idea kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
I won't lie to you. This is a terrible idea.
No, this is just one that I picked out because I think we'll have some stuff to say, but also it won't need to fill up like a whole hour. I was thinking we talk a little bit about our favorite movie scores.
Scores.
Yeah, I got nothing.
You don't want the tumbler.
So yeah,
All right.
our favorite movie, like it's different from soundtracks, I guess, because soundtracks would be like the actual like song, like Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack would be like the awesome mix, whereas the score would be like, I don't want to steal what probably would be your number one, but a bit of a Pirates of the Caribbean kind of feel to it.
Okay.
So we'll see how far we can go with this. We'll give a few, and maybe that's all we'll have to it.
We're only doing movies then, no TV shows.
You can do TV as well.
Okay.
When we did our favorite cinema experiences, we threw in a bunch of plays we'd seen. So like, I think the rules kind of go out the window. Well, my first one, I mean, actually, I didn't write anything down, so I actually have to think here. What would my first one be?
Well, I've got a few lined up here. Okay. If you want me to go first,
you can hit one real quick.
I wouldn't say this is my first probably, but one that's very, very good. First is in my favorite. One that's very, very good is How to Train Your Dragon soundtrack.
I was just listening to some of that today. I'm not gonna lie.
It's so good. I've got a little Spotify playlist called Instrumentality.
Ooh.
And just a bit of How to Train Your Dragon on that. It's just so good. They're like da 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 da. Copyright strike. As he like gets on Toothless and like flies off. Like the entire soundtrack's very good.
I was gonna say, are you familiar with the song Test Drive? Because that's
the one that's the one I just did.
Oh, my man, I didn't recognize it, so I'm sorry, but that is
that's all right.
Because at the end it has this.
I reckon it was not a very good rendition.
You did kind of go da 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 da.
That's Test Drive.
I kind of now that I do it, actually, that was kind of fun. Actually, I kind of see the appeal.
actually, I'm all tingly now.
But yeah, at the end, it has this very epic swell to it, and I'm not gonna lie, I did see it in a YouTube short over these like two Olympians celebrating that they won gold medals or something, and I was inspired to look up what the song was because it was so epic, and I was like, oh wait a minute, of course it's How to Train Your Dragon. It's just a very
wait a minute, it's Toothless.
It's a grand, epic, hopeful, uplifting kind of soundtrack.
Yeah,
would you say?
it just works,
and especially for that scene where like. It's this epic, sprawling, soaring through the sky, with your best friend.
It gives you a bit of like a grand, can touch the sky feel, and then he's literally touching the sky. It's so poetic.
In a similar vein to the How to Train Your Dragon thing, I mean, obviously the Harry Potter score in general is iconic, and it brings back that nostalgia feeling whenever I hear a few notes from it. But in particular, I'd say probably my favorite moment of musicalness from that series. If you remember, and I don't know if you've even seen this movie, but if you remember when he first flies on Buckbeak.
No, I don't remember this.
Buckbeak is the fucking, horse that has wings and shit, and then Harry flies on it. There's this epic music where it's like, and wait. Wait, no, I was about to do it, and then I got thrown off.
Imagine Harry Potter getting on the horse. There's like a slow instrumental build-up, and then you just hear like music just scratch. Wait, wind that back.
A rap starts.
Ludicrous enters.
Bossy Bop starts playing. But it's very similar to and it's a similar feel to the How to Train Dragon thing, because it's him like, flying and touching the sky or whatever, and then he puts his hand in the water, and then he does a classic Harry Potter.
He drowns.
And then he falls off. The epic music continues just over bubbles coming up. He does his classic Harry Potter woo, and then the music like really escalates, and it's very epic.
Oh, I have seen this.
Right?
I guess.
It's very good. Anyway, so
that sounds like 5 cars going by, like
crashing into one another. Anyway, so that would be my my number 1 through 10 pick right there.
You got 10 lined up?
I don't. I have 0 lined up.
All right. Well.
Oh boy.
I think. Oh boy. Well, okay.
Sorry, guys. I'm not gonna do it.
Go on, say it.
Oh, the Tumblr? Yeah, it wasn't worth it, right?
You asked me to do this. This is also my Morgan Freeman impression. You've already kind of mentioned it, but we have to talk about the Pirates of the Caribbean, the Jonathan of the Deppathan, the William of the Turner.
Oh.
The William of the Walker. Yeah, I mean, that soundtrack is just, it's so good. It's one of the best. Like,
it does have
I think anything. What's he called? The guy who does it, all the music.
It's not John Williams who did that. I don't think.
No. It's
Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer. Yes.
Yeah.
All the music and all the soundtracks that Hans Zimmer does are just they're so good.
Yeah.
Like,
he also did Dark Knight, Inception.
But yeah, they're just so good. The theme song. Dun, 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 dun,
Just gets you hyped up for an adventure.
It's just you just want to go out there and experience things.
You want to swashbuckle.
It also helps that the movies are great. Or does the soundtrack make the movie great? Or does the score make the movie great?
Ooh,
one for the thinking man
philosophical
is what I say.
discussion. I think the soundtrack should enhance it should take it to another level, just like when Harry does his woo and then the music escalates.
But the woo is what takes it to another level, not the music.
True.
It could be any music. It could be Boxes of Bush and then Harry going woo, and it would still be epic.
It'd fit right in, yes.
I want to make an edit of Harry Potter doing that, but to Boxes of Bush.
Yeah, I would definitely put that up there as... Yeah, just, I think also what makes a great soundtrack is it complements and fits the movie's tone. I mean, it basically can make a movie's tone. Like, even if you'd never seen one of those movies, you could hear the Pirates of the Caribbean theme and you could feel like that it's an adventure series.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of excitement. And same thing with like something like Interstellar. You get a complete, like, total vibe for what the movie is based on that. Mm-hmm. Also, I remember one time one of our classmates entered into a talent show and he played the Pirates of the Caribbean theme on the piano, and he was you could say he was a bit of an underdog to win it, and he won with the Pirates of the Caribbean theme, and it was like one of the most epic moments ever.
It was good.
That also puts it up there, I would say. More so than anything that happens in the movies.
It's also just the fact that like it's not many movies where you have a soundtrack and like the moment you hear it, like, oh, that's Pirates of the Caribbean, or that's whatever it is. And that also shows that if that can happen, it's a great soundtrack. Or the score.
Yeah, well, I mean, in that you can just like list off like the most iconic ones, like Raiders of the Lost Ark or like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, I don't know. Now I can't think of like all the Harry Potter, all the big franchises. They generally have like, especially Indiana Jones has a close place in my heart since I love those movies. Also something like the Batman, the original Batman, the original Superman, those. I feel like the Batman one especially, Superman as well, it has that like hopeful energy, but the Batman one has that like, kind of dark, relatively for superhero movies of that time, kind of like gothic feel to it that set it apart, I guess, from other superhero movies then. That was really cool. Plus, they use it in the Lego Batman DS game, which also brings much nostalgia to me. I would say, speaking of superhero movies, one recently... And this is, again, I mean, this is poorly planned. We don't actually have like our list here, and we'll probably think of better ones like in the coming weeks. We're like, I should have said that. But the one that comes to mind right away, because I've been listening to it a bunch, Ratism from the Suicide Squad, which is the song that plays in the big finale when Ratcatcher 2 uses all the rats and stuff, and Taika Waititi's like, if rats are the
but does that count as
creatures.
Does that count as a score?
Well, it's part of that. I thought it was a song. Like, I thought it was like a song that they'd taken from something. It's actually a piece of original music, which I found out when I went to find it. Okay. Yeah. And I actually think, because we mentioned that Kian made like a movie montage or something, and he used it in that, and I was like, that is a bit of a shout, and I've been listening to it ever since. So thank you, Kian, for getting me hooked on Ratism. But just an epic. I don't know. There's something about we have a consistent theme here, but there's something about those like epic, uplifting kind of. It just gets you hyped up to swashbuckle.
I just want to swashbuckle after I hear Ratism.
But yeah, go ahead.
One that I think is probably one of the best of all time. And just because it's got both range. It ranges from epic to really wholesome to chaotic in a way that works. Lord of the Rings.
I was about to say Lord of the Rings. Yes.
Boom. Lord of the Rings. Goes from the Shire.
So peaceful. It's like I'm there.
Did I just do Uguay Ascends? No.
Something many people often ask themselves. Wait a minute. Did I just hit a fat Uguay?
I don't know if I just Uguayed or...
No, that was the Shire. That was the Shire.
Okay, good.
I'll do Uguay Ascends later. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. I'm happy. But Yeah, like the entire musical score for Lord of the Rings is just so good. And also because it's such a grand thing. What is it, like 12 hours for the first 3 movies or something like that? Something ridiculous. And like so the score does kind of need to be good because it feels like it's almost like a whole. It's less of a movie, more of a journey, one could say.
Ooh.
And the music aids that journey. Mic drop. I'm out. Goodbye, ladies.
This podcast has reached peak quality. Yeah, no, 100%.
It's so good. Like that's also something I just sit and listen to sometimes. It's just
yeah, and it has that range of like it goes from the wholesome and the relaxing to the for Frodo-esque big epic theme like bum 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 bum.
For Frodo.
And then they also bring back like kind of like more wholesome theme in a very poignant way when they're climbing Mount Doom and then they're reflecting on remember the strawberries with the cream or whatever and it's playing that music.
little personal anecdote that's really really lame to say out loud and stuff like that.
I'm here for it.
But now that we're here on the topic of Frodo, so today I've been playing a bit of volleyball lately, as I usually do. But I was at training and I hit a very very good volleyball block. I was feeling good about myself, and this one guy came up to me and said, "Yo, wait, sorry, your new name is Fredo Biggins."
Wow. So why would you say that's a lame story? That's a fucking epic story.
Well, it's not the coolest thing to be going around saying.
Biggins.
So instead of Frodo Baggins, I'm now Fredo Biggins.
That is how we will introduce
because I'm fucking huge. I'm huge on the net.
All right, that's where the lame part of the story was. We found it.
That's how I introduce myself to every person I ever meet. The name's Freddy, but you can call me Fredo Biggins because I'm huge on the net.
It sounds like such a Winston Bishop kind of thing to say. God, wow. Well, fair enough. Okay, that's
Yes. Sorry. I just.
No, you've thrown off my groove here. I don't know how to go from that. Well, speaking of Oogway Ascends, the Dark Knight soundtrack, the Kung Fu Panda soundtrack, also epic. You could say because we have the Oogway Ascends, which of course goes. How does it go? He's like master, and then it's like believe. I can remember the lines. I can't remember the music.
It's
the flute. They have like the flute.
No,
that's the Shire.
That's the Shire. I did the Shire.
You Fredo Biggins it. But anyway.
This is really annoying me. We're sitting here thinking, how does Oogway go?
But then there's also like the training montage scene, which has one of my favorite pieces of music from that. And just the general theme. It's just, it's just lively and beautiful.
I've got it. I remember what it is.
Okay.
Wait. I'm going to play it and then play it to you. And sing it. Ba 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 ba.
There we go. There it is.
Ba ba da 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 da. Turn it into opera.
Is Oogway actually singing this?
As Oogway floats away, he screams in pain and confusion. He didn't know it was actually going to happen. He just knew he was close to dying.
I put that up there. DreamWorks coming through with a few choices here, I have to say.
Few goodies.
I'm trying to think, like... the obvious one. And this is a good one because I feel like there was a while back there was this narrative on the internet where... it was that Marvel movies don't have like memorable soundtracks in the same way or scores.
But that was until they saw The Incredible Hulk.
Until, of course, Thor 1. There is one, and I can agree to a certain extent. Some of them, I mean, I know them, but that's because, I'm, as we established, I'm a sad loser or whatever we said. The Avengers theme is one of the most iconic themes, I think, in like the past... 20 years? Because like most of the, most iconic movie themes are from like the 80s, 70s with, Indiana Jones and Star Wars and all that. I think the Avengers is one of the most iconic of recent years, like one of the most recognizable.
I'd say so, yeah.
that you can actually, and I just want to say I was on that bandwagon before it became kind of a thing, because I think
Before it became a bandwagon. You were on that when it was a wheel.
I was on it before they'd even written that piece of music. But I remember in 2012 when I saw the first movie and I had my little, iPod Touch or whatever, and I would find it on YouTube, the Avengers theme, and I was like, this shit is fucking awesome. I said those exact words to my mother. And now, with Infinity War.
Big Mama H, check out this It's fucking awesome.
And now since, Infinity War and Endgame, that's part of the reason why that moment in, Infinity War and Endgame, those big moments like Thor coming into Wakanda and all that stuff, hits so well because it uses that iconic Avengers. It's just the quintessential kind of, I don't know, modern superhero theme, I would say. Also, big shout out to the Ant-Man and the Wasp soundtrack.
Also, huge shout out to my boys over at the Eternals.
Oh my god. What a fucking not memorable movie that was.
I'm struggling to think of things. I've got two shows that I'll conjoin because... So I reckon I'll do one and then you do one and then... Is that our topic?
Then we call it a day?
I reckon.
Because I listen to so much movie soundtrack stuff, so it's baffling me that I can't...
I listen to so much movie!
Okay, I have a couple more.
Okay, fine. I was... fine, nerd. I will say I'll conjoin two. Not that they're at all similar in soundtracks, but...
Pitch Perfect and Schindler's List.
Citizen Kane and Bad...
Moms.
Two. Citizen Kane and Bad Moms 2. God damn. Anyways, Marco Polo and Vikings.
Okay.
Oh, I've got another one after this. Especially the intro's theme to Marco Polo is just so good. But especially in these shows when there's epic fight scenes, the score just becomes so intense and to the point where it's it almost makes you not claustrophobic, but it makes you kind of hyperventilate because it goes sometimes it goes very, very fast where it's I realize sitting here trying.
Sometimes it makes it so intense where it goes.
It sounds like Marmaduke, what you're doing there.
Just a dog panting into the microphone.
But yeah, basically for the action, the scores in those shows is great, and it gets you pumped up.
All right, I'll take that. I'll throw in here at the end just two that I have saved in my Spotify, so I guess that should be some inspiration. The Kingsman score. And by the way, what's his name? Henry Jackman does some great scores as well. He did Days of Future Past. He did First Class. Bunch of good stuff. Those are great as well. But The Kingsman, another one where probably the average person wouldn't recognize it, but I find it to be one of the more recognizable modern themes. I was about to start.
Again, I go above and beyond the normal person.
How it's bum 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 bum.
Guys, you are really seeing this. You are witnessing B.H.L. Hudson turning into a 1830s steam train.
And then the Rocky movies and also the Creed movies. Excellent scores there. Of course, we have the classic, the triumphant Rocky, and the training montage. And then we have the final, whatever it's called, the final count, the final thing, whatever, where it's bum 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 bum.
I'm loving.
I hope you appreciate these jazz hands I'm giving as well.
I was loving the hands. Bum 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 bum.
Like a show on Broadway or something. But yeah, those would be the ones that come to mind. Maybe we'll do another part of this because. Well,
yeah, I mean, I've got one more.
Okay, sure.
The Game of Thrones score.
That's a good one, yeah. Especially the theme.
It's a good one. The theme, but then also just the Hall of Faces, that thing, and the Reigns of Castamere and stuff like that. Yeah. I love singing the Reigns of Castamere in the shower when you're feeling extra sonorous.
Ooh.
And who are you? The proud Lord said that I must bow so low.
He's proud of the jazz hands.
And who?
And this is when the shower turns into a sad shower. And that's the part where you inhale all of the shower water. You stand there.
That's when I turn into the Vikings theme.
Personally, I like to do Uguay Ascends when I'm in the shower, but that's a whole other thing.
I can imagine you standing there doing like weird yoga poses in the shower as you go.
I just recite the lyrics or the script from the scene. Yeah, no, Game of Thrones, TV-wise, would also definitely be up there. Yeah, I mean those are the ones that come to the top of the dome. Also the ones that you think we forgot, which will definitely be hundreds. Please leave in the comments below. But yeah, I think off the top of the head, those were our favorite movie scores that we could think of. And we could do movie soundtracks some other time when we need a bit of a stinky topic. I'm kidding, it was a great topic. But that would be also a bit spicy because there are a lot of movies with great soundtracks. But anyway, yeah. Favorite movie scores. There we go. Freddy is scratching himself with a bare, scratchy hand. Anyway.
It's a dinosaur.
That is so much lamer. Anyway.
This is a dino.
It's now time for...
the Timecodes.
So the Tom Cnews is pretty lame this week, I won't lie, but he
has passed.
Why is that always your go-to? When I say so, you're like, and he died. If/when Tom Cruise ever does die, these segments will
I can't say it.
Obviously you can't say it. What do you mean? Well, I guess you can't. That would be the one appropriate time to say it.
Yeah, I guess. That's the one piece of actual Tom Cruise we'll have, is that he is no more.
Well, this just took a sad
I feel like he's going to be the kind of guy who will like
live forever.
Well, yes, but also lead headlines like months and years after he passes.
That's true. Yeah, you know what? The Tom Cruise will keep going regardless of his...
He's going to leave a bunch of like bombs everywhere.
Okay, well, that's not exactly the direction I was going. I was going to say like his legacy will endure. Anyway, Top Gun Maverick football thing. He did a video for American... I guess it's just called football in America, obviously. American football... because there was a big game. I obviously follow these things very closely. But he did like some promo for it, and it was awkwardly intercut with Top Gun 2 footage, and he was just like, we Americans love football and all that kind of fucking shit, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the Tom Cnews. Great stuff. Now it's time for the announcements and such.
That was a lame one. That was a lame one.
Yeah, no, it wasn't great. At least it wasn't a Tom Cruise fact this time.
This is true.
Now it's time for the announcements and such. And again, we are recording this on Monday, and we're recording it all today. I think we're going to do this from now on because it's kind of difficult to find time to record the announcements and such otherwise. Right. So these will be a week out of date, but then the next week we'll get to that week's announcements. You get how it works. You understand time.
You guys are humans. You get what it is.
Nothing too crazy today. I guess I'll check the fan page. Nope. Yeah, no, nothing. That's wow, what a sad moment. Yeah, no, nothing posted.
Yeah, no, that's us signing off then, I guess.
All our fans don't like us. Let's go through some comments real quick. ZJ113, GOAT, my life is complete. I got my comment read during the pod announcements and such. You're welcome. I'm really happy that was your life goal. It was a worthy one. Anson Hartzler, question mostly for Freddy. That's a bit rude, but I'll allow it. Have you seen the anime A Silent Voice? If so, what do you think? If not, I highly recommend it. Beautifully made, effectively tackles issues like bullying, self-loathing, and regret. Still has levity and ultimately hopeful message.
It is. So there's 2 anime movies that I'm gonna watch within the next short time. That is one of them.
Okay.
And the other one is Weathering with You, I believe.
Woody Harrelson.
And the other one's Woody Harrelson. But that is one of them. And I am very, very excited to see it. It looks so good.
Okay.
So, have not seen it, but excited to see it.
Well, we will have that in the mini reviews sometime in the near future, then I guess so.
You best believe.
He says, I'm recommending it for Freddy because he's the anime guy, but really it's a film that anyone should watch. One of the best I've ever seen. So, noted. I will also take note, even though you did write mostly for Freddy, which hurt my feelings. Joe C. says, I think you should change this podcast to podcasting. What a joke. And then he writes, my favorite part, he writes in parentheses, not meant as an insult. I think it was meant as an insult. Also, he edited this,
absolutely.
So I think he realized that maybe we would find it insulting. That's okay, even if it was an insult.
Insult taken.
Yeah, blocked.
Consider yourself reported.
Consider the authorities en route. But yeah, no, that is a great title for a podcast, especially if you started one alone, Frederick.
Frederick.
Bastard. Daniel says another really great little podcast episode in a similar vein to John Bernthal's cute little mustache.
Okay, I was gonna
Super Mason. Plot twist. Chris Pratt is not voicing the cat Garfield, but he is in fact voicing Andrew Garfield in an upcoming animated movie with Jack Black as Bowser. Also great episode. Can't wait for next week. I would watch that. Confusing concept, but also one that it seems like Pratt would be attached to.
Weirdly deep and well thought out, this one.
Kind of existential, honestly. Also, are you scratching your face with a dinosaur claw?
No.
That was a rhetorical question. I saw you fucking do it. Guys, I saw him do it. I swear.
Guys, put the authorities on this man.
Get off of Joe C's case and come take care of this guy. Movie Guy says, it has been just over 3 years since we last heard from the FDK Gaming channel. When can we expect a grand return? Yeah, so the people are waiting.
Well, I was
Never.
thinking of not. It's well, I was thinking never. I was thinking of going through my Reddit for a video and make it a 5-second video.
That would be so good. I love that.
Yeah, so I mean that might happen, but
Okay. We still have to do a
otherwise-
gaming video sometime for your channel.
We do.
It'll happen.
It'll
maybe.
blow up.
So would you say the podcast coming out a day late was ... poorly planned? It was actually. Yeah, I don't know why I gave a 2-minute apology for something that literally we were supposed to be known for. So, yeah, thank you, Cal W, for bringing that to my attention. I will never apologize again for anything. And finally, Movie Boy 2011. I was talking to my teacher who worked on a lot of movie sets, and he worked on a film with Mark Ruffalo, and they were taking pictures of the cast and crew, and Mark Ruffalo photobombed in all of the pictures.
Well, it doesn't surprise me.
First of all, it sounds very much like a rough thing to do. Love it. Second of all, would he not already be in the pictures if they're taking pictures of the cast and crew? Should Mark Ruffalo not be like front and center in those pictures? Would he not be a key crewmate?
I feel like it might just be like selfies or something they're doing, and then you just see Ruff in the background like, what?
Yeah, maybe he mooned them. Would be a Ruffalo kind of thing to do. That is a delightful Ruffalo story. So thank you, and also good for your teacher for working with Ruffalo. What a dream.
What a dream.
Anyway, yeah, that's been the episode this week. I guess if we do the announcements and such, we can't do the gag of us pretending to receive
We can still do that.
news.
Oh my god. I can't believe he actually took the tumbler.
Anyway, we're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Do I say this in this part of the thing?
Yeah, you do.
We're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Well, it doesn't matter. We're putting the two things together now.
Yeah, and if you're listening there, we're on YouTube, The Poorly Planned Podcast. Please give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave a beautiful rating. Or it can be, an average rating. Just make sure it's 5 stars.
Yeah. You can talk us all you want, but give that 5-star.
On YouTube, yeah, subscribe, hit the bell button, hit the like button, leave a comment on what you thought of this episode, and also what movie scores are your favorite. And check out the fan pages linked down below, the fan-made TikTok linked down below. And yeah, that's it. Cool.
That's it. Dab on them.
So, you can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com.
You can find me on Twitter at FTK_DaltSniper. You can find me on Instagram at Fidalgard. And you can find me on YouTube at FTK Space Gaming.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
You don't want the tumbler.